Here's an idea that one of my grad students worked on of having shaped ridges, with the ridge here perpendicular to the sun on April 15th. And so, and here is his ridge maker. He tried it with putting down the seed first and making ridges over the seed, or this way, which was a little better, is making the ridges first and then planting on the ridge, the side of the ridge through. And this would get anywhere from 5 to 40% better yield. Anybody doing that? No. Well, it's in the library, and it's there. Here is the state of the farm after the corn has been harvested, and the residue here, somewhere around 3 tons the acre, and of course, if you get snow, it holds the snow on it, it holds the soil on it, it prevents wind erosion. I took this picture in rain. I went out I took a tractor out to the field and sat there taking pictures as it rained. And this is a international harvester on a 80-row center, 40-inch rows. We were using 40-inch rows at that time. And so we were straddling this row, and so we came down this row, and then we double-tracked it in here row, and then we double-tracked over there. And what you see is that the compaction limited the amount of water that infiltrated into the soil. In fact, the matter is, what we found is that a lot of this water actually went over into this furrow and went in the ground, rather because it was imponded here in this direction there. And so here is a ridge farming system. There's about 4 million acres farmed in America yet today. It got up to about 6 million acres before a ridge till came in and it kind of usurped it. But that's out in western Iowa, and this is planting it, and you see here the old ridge stalks are still here, the crop is coming up, and this is the way our ridge till corn looked when we were still hill planting. But hill planting was usurped, and we are now drilling it in, and this is a little bit wide, too wide yet, but anyhow, that's the way corn looks today. And we could have all corn in ridge till if people would build ridge till equipment, but they don't. Only farmers that are handy make their own equipment and use it. Now this is a buffalo water, and that's half of it is right here and half of it is this way, and the flat land, it drowned it out. The ridge land, the ridges infiltrated the water, and they went ahead and grew a crop. And so this is a way to get rid of the problem of our buffalo wattlers, our flooded spots in the fields today. I developed a farming system ratio, and it's a dimensionless number that is the amount of soil lost over the amount of grain produced. And this is the amount of soil sacrificed to grow a crop of grain. And the agronomist will tell you that we can lose 5 tons per acre. That's wrong. Wrong. We should not use no soil. And so I'm going to go, here is a Buchele farmer ratio. This is a dimensionless number, and it indicates the units of soil sacrificed per unit of grain produced. And here's your equation, and here it is on a later one that I made, and with ridge till, you lose about 1/4 of a ton of soil per acre, and that's 4/100 of a pound of grain per pound of soil. And with this system here, we're about 20 barges of soil go down the river for every barge of grain produced. And so we need to be able to use some other number, because if I tell you I got 160 bushel corn and I lost 40 tons of soil per acre, well, how can you relate that? They're related, but you have to be able to do a lot of figuring to get it. And so I think that's what we do. And I have been lamented the fact that farmers have to have so many heads for the combines. So one of my grad students, I asked him to build a universal header. And we planted our corn on 15-inch centers, or we put it in by airplane, and then you come in here. And this is a bat-time reel. We also built a chain-type reel. And either system works slow. This had a snapping bar here at the top, came up here, it snapped it off, the ear fell down into the auger, took it up and put it in a grain tank, and the stalks were augered off to the side. And, I got black hair. Here is a chain reel here, and the corn was elevated up, and the snapping roll was up here, and the corn fell down. And here it is with beans, and we did it with other crops, and it works. And here's planting a 15-inch corn. Another picture of the universal reels. The thing that I'm probably most known about is the large round baler. And I run a baling crew when I was in high school. 4 men and a boy, and I was the boy. And if we went out and worked hard, I mean extremely hard, and the farmer kept us in hay, at the end of the day we could have baled 15 tons of hay, 15 tons. With a large round baler, your 16-year-old daughter could go out and bale 115 tons of hay, quit in time to eat supper, and go to a show with her date when the show begins. And so that shows the depth that we have come with the large round baler. And here is, I run this crew, this kind of a crew here, and I made a voluntary oath that I would get rid of the small square baler. Well, I haven't, because that produces dollar bales. Fathers buy little square bales for their daughters to feed their horses. I found that out when I had 2 daughters. This is Virgil Haverdink. Virgil came into my office in 1965 and said, "Can you suggest a problem for my master's degree?" I said, "Virgil, let's build a large round baler." Virgil had found out, I didn't know this until later, that he had been working on cubing. In fact, also Bernie Poor and Ken Herron were working on cubing hay. And they had cubed hay for 2 years. I had a John Deere contract for $105,000 for 3 years of work. And I was getting to the end of their contract. And we hadn't accomplished a thing except we had cubed hay that had been rained on 3 times. We never made any cubes just from cutting the hay down. It had to rain 3 times before we got it cubed. And so Virgil accepted the thing, and he did build a baler. The baler unloaded the hay with those arms. And here's Virgil here studying what the problem is. And he finally put a shaped a ridge by this piece of steel here, got it to rotate, and he made large round bales of hay. And it unloaded, and here it is dropping it down, and then here is a field of large round bales and also making square bales out in the field at the same time. And several different balers that were made there. Easy to handle with front end loaders. Front end loaders came in after World War II, and so they were there and well developed and so forth by the time the round baler got around. And then there was this system of having a spike on the back, as you see here. And so we had a way of handling, and here's George Ayers with a large hay, and he was showing how to feed it, and he let the hay roll downhill. Of course, you can, if you aim that right, you can get a truck or a car with that, but you have to take windage. And so we, with Soteropoulos, we cut these open, and here is a large small square bales that had been harvested at about 35% moisture, and we were not surprised that the leaves had molded and everything. In the hay, the leaves were still on the plants, and they were bright leaves. We had just a little bit of damage up here from wet, but the cows ate it all. And so this became a system of harvesting hay around the world. Havertink also learned to build other round bales, and he built the round baler designed a round baler on the cotton picker. And here is a way of transporting. So I appreciate your kind attention, and I am being warned that I should cease the operation. Oh, I'll have this. You've got to see this. The innovative baler, and that's on the Iowa State University campus. How many have seen this? Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Well, there's 15 other advancements that are on Iowa State University in the same manner. Well, thank you very much. You've been very kind to audience. And I'm just